you can do that. Alrighty, so the next thing we have is our online learning. This is our second model. And in this model, your child is learning online remote 5 days a week. So what this will look like is that it's really flexible with your schedule. You guys can do the lessons as the schedule works for your family, but there will be videos that have been pre-recorded by your teachers for your child to watch. Now, something I'd like to make a note of is it might not be your child's classroom teacher that you see making the videos. We kind of split up the work among our team, but they'll be watching a video and then they'll be completing an assignment on Seesaw. So Seesaw is the program that we're going to be working on this year, and we'll go over a little bit more about that in a couple minutes. Now, next I have our online learners supply list. So these are some materials that we think would help your child be successful this year for online learning. Now, again, you can access this supply list first right here. You can take a picture or go back and look at it later on the website and on Class Dojo. I know that they've been posted all 3 places, so you can go back and look at any time. Alrighty, the next thing I'm going to talk about is attendance. So just like any year, attendance is really important to support your child's learning. Now, we are going to be taking attendance both in person and online. So for in person, that'll look like how we've done it in the past. If they're there, they get attendance for that day. And online will look like we'll be taking attendance through completed assignments. So if your child completes their assignments for that day, they're marked for being present. Alrighty, thank you.
Alrighty, so now we're going to talk about the apps that we would like you to download. So first we're going to talk about Clever, we're going to talk about Seesaw and Class Dojo. On top of that, we are going to be giving you the login information and passwords within the next week, so you don't have them right now. Next slide, please. Okay, so first we're going to talk about Clever. Clever connects Lexia, Seesaw, and I Ready. The old QR codes that you might have do not work, so you can just toss them in the garbage. We are getting new ones ready for you. Once you are logged in, you will not need to log in again as long as you're using the school's Chromebook. And then each time you want to access things like Lexia, Seesaw, or I Ready, you will go right through Clever. Okay, so Class Dojo is something that we use as our main way to communicate updates and important reminders. So please, please, please turn on these notifications so you won't miss anything. Go ahead. Thank you. And then finally, we're going to talk about Seesaw. So Seesaw contains the students' lessons and work. So it's strictly for instructional content. Seesaw Family allows families to stay connected with your child's learning. And then this is something you can connect on with a smartphone, an iPad, or a Chromebook. So please download this app.
Thank you, Ms. Mays. And you may have a lot of questions that you need to reach out to us, whether it be on Class Dojo, but we have these Zoom office hours available Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 8:45. It's a great way to, if you don't have time to go into Class Dojo, this will be a great way for us to help you either with some of these new things like Seesaw. And then also on Wednesdays, there will be 3 sessions to meet with your classroom teacher, 10 a.m., 12 p.m., and 2 p.m. So these are our ways to reach out to us. For specials this year, your students will be having physical education twice a week. They will need sneakers and bring in a water bottle. And masks will be worn throughout physical education class. They'll be given enough breaks during that time period and water breaks as needed. Next slide, thank you.
Do you mind if I hop in real quick?
Go ahead, Mr. Eckert. Yep. You're coming on.
All right.
You're good.
So again, like Mr. Martin just said, mask will be mandatory in my class this year just because of the safety issues that are involved with the spread of COVID-19. So this is to keep everybody safe, students, teachers, and everyone involved safe. So, but the students will have ample time to take their mask off and have a water break, a mask break, and we're going to kind of do it in like groups of 3 or 4, depending on how many kids are in the class. To my knowledge, there won't be more than 12 kids in a hybrid class, so that gives us plenty of space, plenty of room to have the kids get a drink that need a drink. Sneakers will be mandatory because we're just going to be in the newly renovated gym that we've all been waiting so long to be able to use, myself included. So we're going to be kind of like a mixture of in the gym, in the classroom, and outside. Also with the curriculum that I kind of developed, I took things from a bunch of different places and kind of made it my own. We're going to really focus on, the character strengths of the P2 model that we've been following in school to build relationships and stuff like that. And also my friends who are online compared to my friends that are hybrid, you boys and girls, just so your parents know, everybody's going to be doing the same thing. Not a lot of equipment, very, very little of that, and everybody is online and hybrid. We're all doing the same thing. We're all going to be on the same page. We're all going to be following the same protocols and all that stuff. So my at-home athletes, I hope you're ready and excited because we're going to have lots of fun. I got a lot of fun games planned, and I'll be releasing a walkthrough of the very first week stuff that's going to be going out next week on Dojo. Just a quick video just to kind of walk you through it and have you understand what the expectations are and stuff like that. But really just focus on staying healthy and safe right now. But wear a mask, and we're going to be doing that stuff in school. So let's try and make that a way of life that we all have kind of been following already. And if there's any questions about anything, don't hesitate. I'm connected to everybody's dojo. All the first grade teachers, I'm connected to everybody's dojo. Just make sure if you send a message for me, just label it and make sure just say it's for me, so there's no confusion, and I can answer your questions the best way I can and quickest that I can. So I hope that kind of gives you a brief overview. And also, if you did not know, I am Mr. Eckert. I have been the phys ed teacher here. Probably should have started out with this. I've been the phys ed teacher here since we opened a few years ago. So I'm super excited. I miss all my friends. I can't wait to get rolling again and get active again because Lord knows I haven't been that active during this whole time, and I need it just as much as everybody else. So I can't wait to see you guys in the coming weeks, and I'm going to hop out of here because I got to get ready to go to another orientation for another grade.
Thank you very much, Mr. Eckert. To continue on talking about the curriculum we'll be using for our reading and listening and learning, we use our CKLA, which is a research-based ELA program. It takes, we start learning about topics such as outer space, ancient civilizations, fairy tales, the human body, animal habitats, and we take those subjects and we use those to help teach the students phonics, reading comprehension, and spelling and reading and writing. So it's a fun way to learn the essentials, things that we need to do to get through first grade. As for math, we use the Engage New York modules and the I Ready along with our math curriculum. I'll talk about I Ready in a couple seconds. But our online students, so for the hybrid students, you'll have your normal math class with me while we're in school. And then since everybody at some point will be online, I want to talk about a little bit of what that will look like. Everybody, when you're online, you will watch a pre-recorded math video lesson. That will be me teaching those lessons. I'm the one who did all of the math lessons. So even if you aren't in my classroom, you will still be watching, or your child will still be watching me teach the lessons. So if you see them watching a video with me on it and you have Miss Kip as your teacher, it's okay. They're still doing the right thing. For each online lesson, there will be an exit ticket and a very short quiz afterwards. The exit ticket will definitely be after each lesson, and this is just one problem that kind of tests the student on the material that was taught in that day's lesson. So it gives me a little bit of an idea of how well they grasped that information, whether or not I need to work on it more, or if we can move on to the next thing. The quiz will be 5 questions long. It's just multiple choice. So that isn't meant to be something that's going to take super long. It's just another quick thing for us to be able to see how well everyone is grasping the information I'm teaching. Next slide, please. Some of the things we cover throughout our math curriculum is the foundations of addition and subtraction. That's really what we're working on this year. We don't really touch on multiplication or division. Every once in a while, if I need to challenge a student, I will start giving them some problems like that. But for first grade, we focus on addition and subtraction. We work a lot on base 10 facts. So we work with the number 10 and multiples of 10. It's a really good way to start learning how to add and subtract when we can work off of the number 10. And we do problem solving with length, money, and data. So we'll be working on measuring things in inches and centimeters. We'll start working on identifying money and counting money. And then for data collection, we even spend a little bit of time collecting data, making our own graphs, and inputting it into the graph. We work on learning time. We work on shapes and even greater than the less than equations that involve that. Next slide, please. By the end of first grade, every first grader is expected to be able to count up to 120. They will be doing addition and subtraction of length, and we work a lot on place value. We do that as a unit in math, and we work on place value each day when we're counting the days of school it is. We start with our ones, work to our tens, and then go to our hundreds when we reach the big 100 day of school. And for addition and subtraction, we don't just do just equations. We involve them with, or we get the students doing word problems so they can apply that to real world situations. So it kind of gives them something to relate to and understand why they're learning what they're learning. So I love math. I'm super excited about that. If we turn to the next slide. Oh, sorry, I was jumping ahead an extra slide. Sorry, Amplify Science. This is going to be the science curriculum we will use. I'm not going to talk too much about it right now because we are not going to be starting it right when school starts. We are going to be starting it the second quarter. And as we get closer to that, I'll give you more information about it. But it is super exciting. It's a very hands-on with fun experiments, and they'll get to watch fun science videos. To do that, that is going to be all online. So I'm really excited about that program. Which brings us to Lexia I Ready. If you don't know what these programs are from last year, these are our two individualized learning programs that are meant to meet each individual student's needs. So we have Lexia Core 5 for reading, and we have I Ready for math. Both of these programs, your child will be, your child will be working on these each week, a given amount of time, and it hones in on what they need to work on specifically. So if I was working on it, I might be working on something a little bit different than the student next to me because we need different things. As for the amount of minutes that they will need to spend on it per week, that will change depending on each student. So one student might only have to spend 30 minutes on it a week. One student might have to spend 80 minutes on it a week. But you're allowed to sign on to those whenever you have time. It's not like we say at 9 o'clock you need to sit down and get on Lexia. So that's something you will do at your own pace. The good thing about Lexia I Ready is they can become part of Clever. So once you sign into them the first time through Clever, you shouldn't have to sign into them again, which will make it really easy. So you don't have to walk through signing in and out of something every single time you want to use it. If you have any more questions about those, please type them into the chat box and we'll answer them as we move on to the Positivity Project.
All right, let's talk about the Positivity Project. Those of you who were with our school last year, I'm sure you remember the Positivity Project is a district-wide character building initiative that we do. Last year we had awards like Student of the Month when we had P2 ceremonies where students would earn their awards from demonstrating any of the 24 character strengths such as humor, curiosity, teamwork, love, forgiveness. So we're really excited to dive into that again this year. And they also have quite a great deal of lessons online for virtual learning as well. So we're really excited to start that this year. Water bottles. We will not be able to use the water bottles in school this year. So we ask that you please send a water bottle with your child. It could be one that you want them to toss in the recycling bin at the end of the day, or a reusable one that they bring back with them. That's up to you, but they will not be able to get a drink from the water fountain in order to keep everybody as healthy as we can. For visitors this year, we ask that if you would like to come visit the school in person, that you call the main office. The number is at the bottom of the screen there, 315-671-0270. If you would like to schedule a virtual meeting on Zoom with your child's teacher, you could reach out to your child's teacher through Class Dojo, and we would love to set that up for you. But if you want to come visit the school inside in person, we just ask that you please call to make an appointment first. Here are some of the safety protocols that we'll be following this year. I'll go ahead and read through these quickly. Students will have temperature checks upon arrival. Students with a temperature of 100 degrees or above, or who are exhibiting symptoms, will have parents contacted for pickup. We will practice 6 feet of social distancing, and classrooms are clearly marked. The maximum number of students allowed in each classroom is 12. They will not be sharing supplies this year. We will practice frequent hand washing, and we will be wearing masks throughout the day, but we will be offering students mask breaks throughout the day as well. For more information on this, you can click on the link right there and visit the Sandy Reopening Plan, Health and Safety. And here's a picture of our classrooms right now. We have marked the students' individual space off with tape. When they enter the classroom, they will put their belongings in their cubbies. Then they will have all of their supplies marked with their name on them, ready for them in their workspace to kind of not eliminate, but reduce the amount of traffic throughout the classroom in the day. And breakfast and lunch will be eaten in the classroom. Students who want to pick up lunch will have a designated area to do so. Pickup times are still to be determined. Your child's teacher will be reaching out to you via Dojo to give you those dates and times. And here's a list of our contact information for everybody in first grade: the school website, school email, school phone number, and we'll be sharing this slideshow with you afterwards, so you will be able to reference this whenever you need it. And last but not least, let's have a great year together. We're excited to start first grade. We know this year is going to look different than other years, but it still has all the potential to be a fabulous year, and we can't wait to see you guys online and in person. If anyone else has any other questions that have not been answered in the chat box, we ask that you ask those questions now, or feel free to reach out to your child's teacher on Dojo, and we will do our best to answer your questions there as well.
Awesome. Again, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We know this was a lot of information to take in. So just like Ms. Kip said,
Mr. Cognetti, Ms. Catron, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
I think there's a little bit of a delay, but so like she said, we know this was a lot of information to intake. So you can take a minute and write a question in the chat. We'll be here to answer them. But if a question comes to you tonight or tomorrow or whenever, please feel free to reach out to us on Dojo. We are here to help you. So any questions that you have, we'll be happy to help in any way. So you guys can just ask questions, like I said, in the chat or on Dojo. But thank you again for your time, and we hope we're here to help.
And if you guys don't have any questions, please feel free to leave the meeting whenever you need to. Okay, we're not holding you guys here.
So we just got a question that asked, would it be best to bring supplies during the teacher parade? Because we're having everyone stay in their cars for that, it'll probably be best to bring your supplies the first week of school, just so we can keep the parade kind of moving, and we can keep everybody 6 feet apart in their cars. So unless somebody thinks differently, I'm going to say that we should hold off for the first week. Okay. Alrighty, well, and if there's nothing else, we're going to sign off and say goodbye. And like we said, please feel free to reach out on Dojo, and you guys enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Thank you again.
Bye, everybody.